My name is Francie, and this is my channel, the Hermetic Herald, and I am here with a channeled message for you guys. This is going to be a bit more intense, but I feel like it's needed. So I'm just going to set the stage for the reading. Thank you guys for joining if you're here. If you're not, totally fine. I'm going to give you guys some time to settle in and to start the reading with me. So yeah, Danny Masterson. A lot of people have been pretty surprised with what's been going on with him. Maybe not as surprised as what they heard with Ashton Kutcher. So Danny Masterson is an actor that recently was sentenced to 30 years to life for some really serious charges. Really serious charges in the sense of it being involved with abuse, assault, forcible assault. Trigger warning on this reading if you guys aren't ready to hear it. There's a need for full disclosure that this might get intense, this might be a lot to handle, but we're gonna go into it and see what comes through, because I feel like there's information and insight that will help the collective heal, help the people that were involved heal, and help us understand the context and understanding what the dynamic is between these three people, because there's a dynamic here that's coming through in the collective and people are talking about it a lot with regards to, yeah, whether this is a friendship, and that's the reason why Ashton Kutcher and Mila have come out and said, we stand by the by justice, but we believe that it's an injustice for his child, Danny Masterson's daughter, to go without a father. If you guys have heard the accounts, that's basically the gist of it. They were saying it's a tertiary injustice for Danny Masterson's son to go without his, for his daughter to go without a father. And we all have our opinions of that, right? So I just want to look at and touch base with Danny Masterson's situation. Find out if he truly is, sorry, or what his emotions are regarding the situation. And then I'd also like to touch base with their situation, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, and then also see the dynamic between them. So I feel like there's some insight that's going to come through this reading. You guys might not be sure if you want to tune in or not, but if you're interested in this content and information like this, I go pretty in depth. I don't just do a couple cards. I go into like archetypes, I go into healing messages, I go into whatever is needed for every reading. It's not going to be the same, okay? So I'm going to go into Danny Masterson's current situation. I'm going to go into what mask he presents to the public. What is his self-image like? What are his obstacles right now on this current trajectory? And then we look into where is he going if he remains on his current path, and I feel 2 cards for him. 3 cards, wow. So let's start. Bottom of the deck is Judgment. So Judgment is here. That is the first card we're getting at the bottom for the overall energy. We have Fortune, which is like the Wheel of Fortune, and then we have the 2 of Water, 2 of Cups. This was Destiny. What's Destiny is what Judgment has been reached. Yeah, really strongly. I had a gulp. So there's Judgment coming through with the situation between Danny Masterson's, whatever is going on with him, Judgment is here. Judgment, and also the wheels of karmic destiny turning. When the Wheel of Fortune comes, it's not always good. It sometimes just indicates that it's your time. Your time's up with regards to something. 2 of Cups for him, meaning it means that his destiny was to go through this, in this ordeal, and we're going to see what that means, okay? It's already becoming frustrating, this energy. So first one is the current situation. We have the 4 of Wands. So Danny Masterson's current situation is a reckoning. When you have the 4 of Wands, it's about coming to home, coming to self. But what's interesting about the 4 of Wands, it's usually about celebration. In his case, it's like the rectifying of a situation. For some reason, his energy is, I recognize what happened, I recognize what I did, and I don't quite understand why he would get the 4 of Wands, considering there are 14 people rallying behind him saying, we should support lessening his sentence. He's getting the 4 of Wands. So he's already come to a reckoning of what this is. Number 2, what mask does he present? The Moon. He is very mysterious, guys. The Moon, when the Moon comes out, there's illusions everywhere. This person is not, he doesn't want you to see him. Danny doesn't want you to see him for who he is. He's more so interested in illusions and showing you a sense or a side of him that is very obscured, very confusing, very illusionary. Okay, there's just a sense of like mystery surrounding his external presence. When you look at him, it can really depend on each person, right? Because we look at him sometimes through the lens of the media. If you grew up with him, you saw him in a certain way at the time. But now when you look at him, it's like you perceive him so differently. That is the illusion. There's something about just not understanding his energy, and it's Cancer energy coming through. There's significant Cancer placements with Danny Masterson coming through. I'm just going to say that, okay? Third thing is his self-image. What is his self-image here? We have the Son of Fire. This is a very young energy. It's basically the Knight of Wands. When the Knight of Wands comes in as someone's self-image, he sees himself as I'm hearing a quick thief, someone that can do something really fast, someone who's very like secretive and coy, because the Knight of Wands, you have to be quick. It's not like a slow, like a Knight of Pentacles energy. It's someone that is very spirited, very active. Fire energy is coming through here for how he sees himself. He sees himself as sly. He sees himself as quick-witted, like very quick and a person that can think on their feet. He sees himself as being very cunning when you see the Knight of Wands energy for someone, okay? We're going to get into this a lot deeper, but this is just like the surface level here. So his obstacles, the 10 of Earth. So for the 10 of Earth, it feels like he has a lack of groundedness. When the 10 of Pentacles comes through, you think of legacy, you think of family, you think of being deeply rooted, okay? He's not coming across that way. He's very flighty. With the Knight of Wands being how he sees himself, he's more so going from one thing to the other, one thing to the other. He's not very grounded. As you can see, we haven't gotten any pentacles for him at all. This is the first one, and this is the obstacle. So he has an obstacle with also relationships, because the 10 of Pentacles is about your family. He has an interesting energy with family. An interesting dynamic is what I'm hearing as well with his family members, with friends, with social groups. He's having an obstacle in general with people. And I don't know if he has some kind of like reason for being so distant with this being the obstacle, but family, legacy, he's having an interesting energy with that dynamic, and we're going to touch base with that, okay? So where is he going though on his current trajectory? Spirit had 3 cards instead of 1, so there's a lot to talk about. We have first the Ace of Pentacles as where he's heading. He's heading into why am I hearing obstacle? He's heading into an opportunity for something coming through. An opportunity does not always mean like a job or business plan. It's more so an opportunity for him to show up in some way for the public. We also have the 10 of Wands, which is a very, very difficult energy. That's when you're overwhelmed. That's when you're very tired, because the 10 of Wands is usually you have all these burdens on your shoulder. There's going to be an opportunity, I'm getting, to lift the burdens. So he's going to try to come through, and I want you guys to expect that, for him to come through as a completely different person in light of what has happened. That is not easy to hear, but his current trajectory involves him taking a lot of work. If you're noticing the 8 of Pentacles is here, that's also about putting yourself to work. You're getting the right connections, you're talking to the right people, you're getting yourself in order so that you can come across and be seen in a whole new light. So he's trying to be perceived as a new person, a new being in this dynamic here. He's moving towards trying to look at how people perceive him and trying to change their way of seeing him, which is a very difficult thing given what I'm hearing from him, like what's happened. So good luck with that. Not really, but like I'm just trying to understand what that means. Okay, so let's go into this deeper. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, please give us an understanding, deeper understanding of Danny Masterson than what meets the eye. Please help us understand this with an unbiased approach, understanding what it is that's going on with this situation, because I feel like there's a lot to talk about here. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands. This is someone who is a very powerful energy, someone who likes to also be on top of things, a very self-made individual. This is usually someone who's gone up the ladder to where they are. They're very proud of where they are and where they stand, okay? So I feel this card really strongly, these two. What's interesting is this third one is also coming through, which is the Ace of Wands the Two of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. So he's going for his partnerships. He's trying to initiate partnerships with people in order to address the situation at hand. And the partnerships that we're talking about with Ashton and Mila seem to be the one that's also coming through. Very close-knitted relationships he's had in the past. He's actually using them to his benefit for this case, right? We know that from the 14 accounts of people that have spoken about this. But I want to go into depth on that here. Okay, let's go into Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis's energy. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What is Ashton and Mila Kunis's current situation? Since they're a couple, I want to look at their current situation here. And we'll compare it from his situation. All right. So we have the Chariot in reverse coming through as their current situation, along with the Fool. Okay, they're not trying to move very quickly. They're trying to be pretty steady. They're trying to maintain a steady composure, a steady standing. They're trying to maintain some form of balance in the situation. And I'm feeling this card strongly. We have the Ten of Cups. They're trying to stay together as a united front. So Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, their current situation are these three cards. They are the Chariot in reverse, the Fool, and the Ten of Cups. They're trying to maintain united no matter what. I want you guys to know that they value their relationship more than they value anything else, and they're trying to focus on being steady, on focusing on trying to see a new beginning out of the situation between them and Danny. They're trying to maintain their family, trying to maintain their composure as well. I'm feeling this card strongly, so let's see if it's these two or just the one. Just the one. We have the Lovers. So they're really focused on they're trying to focus on love, which is interesting. It feels like they're trying to focus on their family first and foremost, which would not be what I would expect. When you get yourself in a situation like this, you're basically putting yourself in the public eye for a lot of persecution. People are really coming at them. So when they come from a place of the Fool energy, it can also denote foolishness, because they're focusing on happiness, on love, on all those sweet emotions. So it feels like they do have some love and they have some like harmony in regards to Danny. Now, the Fool coming through though means that they want a new start though. They want a new start either away from him, and they're trying to sever the tie by speaking of him publicly and saying, we think that he is someone that we've known throughout our life, and they're trying to kind of end it then and there and move into their family, move away from the situation. I wonder if we're going to hear from them anymore after this. So the Chariot reversed also makes me feel like it's taking a stop. It's like stopping to say something and then moving on. So it feels like they're just trying to say their piece and move on. Why? We will see. We have the Two of Pentacles trying to find balance. So they're trying to find balance in this current situation, unsurprisingly, but they're really focused on love and on their family. Their family and their dynamic is really interesting, because you would usually want to focus on your family in secret and not mention this. So why did they even speak about this? Like, why would they even talk about this situation if they wanted to be in harmony and peace together? Queen of Pentacles or King of Pentacles, that's about money. That's about your money, that's about your legacy. So there's something at stake with regards to the Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis's legacy, their money. Can you please clarify that? What kind of money are we talking about? Whoa, the Queen of Pentacles, guys. Okay, please clarify the King of Pentacles for us, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, the Moon. Oh my gosh, this is... Okay, we have three cards. Eight of Cups coming out, moving out of something emotionally unfulfilling. We have the Page of Wands. This is about pursuing something, speaking out and acting out on the situation. And the Nine of Swords. They knew that this would cause a lot of torment mentally. They're staying up at night and they're really unhappy with the situation. What's interesting is the reason why they're doing it is because of their money. Seven of Wands, they want to protect their money in some form or fashion. So either they have something with Danny, like as far as an alliance, past, not only just a past relationship with him, but actually money involved with him. Like if he goes down, they go down in some form or fashion. That's coming through. There's the Moon here. That's obscurity. That's secrets. That's really like, it sounds cliche, but you're getting the King and Queen of Pentacles, guys, for why Danny Masterson, why they're defending him. That tells me that they both have history, ample history with him. They feel uncomfortable about sharing it with people, but they have some obscure reason for doing it, hidden secret here. The Emperor is coming through. Temperance, and we have the Page of Pentacles. It was some opportunity. So what I'm getting here is that there's an opportunity between Ashton, Mila, and Danny for something in the future. Either before this situation happened and it came out and they had their trial, there was something about an agreement with them financially. Now, I don't know what kind of contract they had prior to that, but when the Emperor and Temperance come out, it's usually about being on top of something. This is about leadership. They had some kind of opportunity with the Page of Pentacles here that was not even disclosed yet, but now it's being affected by this trial, by the results of the trial. They don't want him to stay as long as he's staying for some reason, and it's for money purposes. I want to understand that in greater detail for you guys. So let's go in with frustrating energies. A lot of frustration is in the room here. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, what is the situation with regards to their legacy, with regards to the money here? Please provide insight and clarity to the situation so that we can understand it. We have concern coming through. Number 33, main male. So we already have concern with Danny coming through. What else is coming through, Spirit? Thoughts is coming through. We're also having child in reverse. Yeah, so they're talking about the child again. So what about the child? I feel this card strongly. Mature woman. They're trying to help Danny Masterson's wife, okay? Something about Bijou is important. They have some agreement with her. I don't know if she asked for them to help her. Look at this, guys. We have message of concern and courtship. So Danny Masterson's wife was asked them for help, and they're just responding to the family dynamic, and they're trying to help her for their sake. I want you guys to know that on the record, and we're gonna see the confirmation in the news, but there's something about her calling them and telling them, and I have goosebumps. So she was initially the one that spoke to them. She said, hey, you guys have a personal relationship with him. You can talk about his character. You can mention this to them, and that'll help him get to stay with us or be with us for a shorter period of time. Bijou does not believe that he's the kind of person to do this, and she is helping. She is trying to ask for help. Great fortune. So she knew that there was some history with his work, and those people were going to be the best sources for the court case. I just want to confirm that because I'm feeling like strongly that's the situation here. She communicated with them. Is that the case, spirit guides, angels, ancestors? Did Bijou contact? We have the Two of Cups. Bijou contacted them. That's plain and simple is what I'm getting, is that with the child card in reverse, they didn't want the child to be without a parent, as we heard in the statement, but literally Bijou wanted Ashton and Mila to help her, prevent him from going into jail for longer, for 30 or more. She wanted a shorter sentence for him. Okay, so what mask does Ashton and Mila want to present to people? Okay. What? Okay. Wow, this is the mask they want. So Ashton and Mila want to present the Ace of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords is about clarity. They want you guys to think that they know what they're doing and that they're sure of what they're doing. But in reality, you guys, I want you to know that Ashton and Mila are in the Nine of Swords energy. They are not happy with what's going on. They're not comfortable. They were willing to go past and bypass the comfortability in order to help Bijou. For, I don't know why Bijou is such a good friend to them or someone that they would do this for, but they're willing to do it for her. They're willing to do it for Danny's child. I don't know why either of them have such a strong connection to his family that they would do that, but that's coming through. We're going to find out in the future because I feel like there's some secret in regards to Bijou and also to their child. We have the Four of Pentacles coming through as also their mask, which is about pretending to be very protective. They're pretending to be very considerate, hoarding in resources and wealth. They're trying to remain, have their composure be humble. This is what we have, and this is what we want to do for his family. We want to focus on protecting the family, protecting the daughter. So they want you guys to know that they want you guys to think that they're very clear about this, that they're very sure about it, but they are not. I feel this card strongly, and it is the Queen of Swords. They want you to think that they're very acute on like their mental space, that they're very sure of what they did, and that they're very resolute, but in reality they're not. We also have the Hermit, that they took the time necessary in order to think about this. What is their self-image collectively with Ashton and Mila, spirit guides, angels, ancestors? How does Ashton and Mila Kunis feel about themselves in this moment here? Wow. So we have two cards coming through. We have the Five of Swords. They truly see themselves as being combative. They're feeling like they're fighting. They feel very conflicted, guys. They see themselves as someone that's starting a war or a fight, and they're recognizing it. We also have here the Hanged Man in reverse. I feel like with the Hanged Man in reverse, or typically the Hanged Man is about deliberation. It's about thinking something through and thinking it through deeply. I feel as though they truly didn't think through this deeply. I feel like they came out of the Hangman energy pretty quickly, actually, after they decided to do what they did. They didn't think about it much more. All they thought about was helping Bijou and his daughter. That was their primary reason for doing this. We also have the Hierophant here. So their self-image is that they're coming from a higher perspective. They think they're coming from a more like, think of everyone, not just the people that were literally abused, but let's think of everyone. They're trying to come from like a higher perspective, and they really truly think they're doing the right thing. I want you guys to know that. They still are very like uncomfortable and very worried about the situation and that it's bringing conflict, but they also are thinking that they're coming from a higher perspective with this. Eight of Swords though. Eight of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. They think in time, over time, this will work out, and that it's like once this works out for both parties, for Bijou and for Danny, that they can just move on and that things are going to work out. We have the obstacles for Ashton and for Mila. Let's check that out. Let's see what the obstacles for this person is here. So the obstacles for Mila and Ashton here are the Two of Swords. That's indecision, indecisiveness. They're still like trying to figure out what to do going forward. They're still trying to like decide on whether they're going to kind of back out quickly, like after saying what they said and just don't talk about it, or addressing it again. We have the Wheel of Fortune though. They think like it's like a matter of time, almost like things will kind of move over and that they'll be able to move forward. They're trying to wait for the wheel to turn. What is their obstacles apart from that as well? We have the King of Cups. Their heart is not completely in this. They think that it's the best thing to do, but their heart is also an obstacle. Their emotional satisfaction and fulfillment with this situation is at stake here. So where is Ashton and Mila, where are they heading on this current trajectory with regards to Danny Masterson? We have these two coming through. That is the Nine of Wands. Danny Masterson, the situation with Danny Masterson, geez, it's so frustrating because we have the Wounded Warrior coming through as their future, their trajectory for Ashton and Mila. It's like a lot of shit coming up, and they're just feeling they're gonna be really tired by this. The Wounded Warrior is here with the Nine of Wands. That's like going through something, and it's like it's arduous and long. And the Eight of Wands happening really quickly. So they're aware that this is going to happen. They're aware that shit's going to hit the fan, but in their perspective, they think it's better for them as a pious, they're coming from a very pious energy, that it's better that they go through the crap and that he gets to be with his daughter. And they're willing to do that in order for that to happen. And it's really like uncomfortable. It's really cringy almost. We have the Three of Swords. So I'm just confirming what I'm hearing, guys, and I feel like a really strong vibe that this plan was not made, like they didn't take the time. They just felt like they needed to do something fast, and it was because Bijou was telling them, hey, I need to round up people that know him so that I can get this case on the ground, and they never mentioned her, but she's a part of this. She's a part of why this is happening. Not like the case, but just the people coming forward to help and she manifested this. All right, so this is something that she wanted to do because she cares deeply about Danny, but at the end of the day, if it is what it is, if he did what he did, right? What do you do in that situation? Just let people go free? Okay. Are there any other situations that we should know about? Because I feel like there's more to the story. We have judication, we have high honor. They think that by reflecting on his character in front of the judge, that would help him because of the high honor associated with these co-workers, of their notoriety, but will it actually matter? We have it again. Courthouse. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this situation, Spirit? This is coming through. We have message. Yeah, the messages that they're trying to share to the courthouse is being addressed here. We have official person. She's just trying to rally up a number of people to help her. And we have change. She's hoping that it'll change the course and trajectory of his fate. The community, having people involved in the community and having this on the news, she's hoping it will change the trajectory. And when I say she, I mean Bijou. Is there anything else to say here? Poverty, though, it's not going to work out. I'm just going to be honest with you. No one's really feeling like pity towards him in a sense at all. This is like you coming, this falling on no one's willing to listen. When you have the community in poverty, everyone's kind of like tough. That's just tough for him. They don't really care. I'm getting that energy really strongly. This marriage is coming through. There's an expectation coming through here of Danny Masterson. But what is that expectation? Guys, this is very self-explanatory. With the coffin card, I fear something, and I think something is coming through with that.